Okay.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for this educator's webinar on MrOwl and how you can use it to help you with the task that educators love, teaching people. That's what it's all about.
MrOwl is a free platform that can help you grab and share knowledge about things that you work with every day in your classroom and in your regular life. It can help you gather information and share it in a brand new way.
Yep. So the platform MrOwl has been designed for knowledge sharing. That's really what it's all about. Again, remember, it's a free platform that people can use and was designed with educators and influencers in mind, because these are the primary sources where we get our information nowadays. So why don't we give you a brief little tour of what MrOwl is all about and how you might possibly use it, and then we'll give you some real cool examples of how other educators are using MrOwl to aid them in the classroom. So a little overview on MrOwl first. Go ahead, Becky.
Sounds great.
So we'll let her get logged in to MrOwl really quick.
Oh, I'm logged in already.
Perfect.
So let me show you, let me actually start by logging out and showing you what it looks like so that you know what it looks like when you go there. So when you go to MrOwl, you don't have to log in right away to see the information. And people can search and find your information that you have public through MrOwl, and they can also browse it without logging in. However, to create, you really have to log in to see all the information.
Absolutely. Did you want to run that little overview video?
Let's do that. So what is MrOwl?
Yep.
Here we go.
Welcome to MrOwl, where you can create a personalized internet experience based on topics that inspire you every day. With MrOwl, it's surprisingly easy and fun to build, organize, and customize topic branches that you can grab and share with friends and family. Look how easy it is to use MrOwl. Hawaii is one of my favorite places to travel to, so I'm going to start a new branch for Hawaii. Let's name this Hawaii Travel. I love the beach, so let's add a link for my favorite surf spots in Hawaii. And I'll also add in a photo from the last time I was surfing there. Oh, this is my absolute favorite place to go for a tasty steak dinner. So let's change the description. This is always my #1 dinner recommend to friends. So let's move this link up a little higher. I can choose whether to make my branch public or private, but since some of my friends are going to Hawaii, I want to share this branch with them. So I'm going to make it public. Let's share this on Facebook so that everyone can see it. Speaking of Hawaii, I remember seeing a branch about the best places to golf in Hawaii. So I'm going to search for it. There it is. Wow, great stuff. I'm going to grab this branch so I can get to it anytime from my Grab Branches page. As you can see, MrOwl makes the things you're interested in come to life. The best thing is, MrOwl gets wiser as more people use it. The topic branches that you create help to shape our master tree. And the links on MrOwl are curated by real people in the MrOwl community, not a computer. Share your world. Share you.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So that gives you a little overview and context of what MrOwl is about. It is about creating branches about pieces of knowledge, topics of knowledge that are important to you, that you feel good about, that you want to share with other people. So for educators, what's important is you can put together all these collections of knowledge. You can do that topic by topic or class by class. So in a classroom setting, you can put together the entire syllabus for the class as well as every little subtopic on all the sections that you're about to teach on, so that it becomes a valuable resource to your students as well as the parents. And that's how we see MrOwl being an important tool for educators, and the feedback that we've received already from a number of teachers who are already using the MrOwl technology is it has been a very powerful tool for them to provide to their students so they can give them basically all the components of the classroom broken down, everything from the syllabus to useful websites that they can go for resources, The students can use it to compile their notes and everything else. The other thing that's powerful about MrOwl is it does not have to be just links to websites. It can actually take in Word docs and PDFs and Excel spreadsheets and photos and videos, and anything you want can be added to your branch for your students and the parents to see and use. You can keep that branch public or private so that just your class and the students can see it, or you can make it so that it can be a resource for everyone. So say you're a math teacher, you can put together a wonderful collection of resources for the students and the parents and other teachers who are also teaching this subject matter, so that everyone can participate and share in the knowledge that you've collected. And that's really what it's about. And remember, it's free to use, and it's free for your audience as well. So it's all about the sharing of information. That's what this technology does.
Okay, so let me log in, and we will show you how to create a branch, as well as show you some of the branches that have been created on MrOwl already. So here we are. On my homepage, I have some top branches that I can browse. I have the branches that I've created, and I have some branches that I have grabbed. When you grab a branch, it's there so that you can get to it in the future. And I've grabbed some pretty great branches.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with Laura Candler, but she's a wonderful educator who's provided a number of resources on MrOwl. She's got websites and all sorts of tools and things that she's put together over the years for teachers. I know she's quite popular with a lot of educators, but let's take a look at some of her branches that she's put together, just to give you an idea of resources and what you can do with it.
So here she has a math teaching resources, and under that, she has Common Core, data and statistics, decimals, fractions, and under each of those she has links to things that she has made, as well as I believe she's put other things in here that aren't from her website. But the idea is that she's amassed some different links for people to be able to come and see the knowledge that she has. So she's grabbing, she has shared this knowledge with everyone, and they can grab it and save it for later.
Absolutely. So that's what you can do with different resources for students and parents. Excellent.
Okay.
Go ahead. Jump in.
I'm going to show this UNM Classics branch because I just love it. It's
probably a little bit more advanced than some of the grade levels that you're teaching, but it's interesting to see how a college student has been using this technology for their class. I find it quite fascinating, actually. So obviously this is a college student who's taking a class on the classics and Greek mythology. And go ahead and dive in, Beck, and you can see what she's compiled.
So she has links here on Greek mythology, things that she's found that she can go back to and use as resources. And she has also put in here her notes from the class. So she took notes from the class on each section. She put them into a PDF document and put them in here so that she can get to them from anywhere. Yeah. Now she doesn't have to email them to herself, and she doesn't have to try and print them out. She doesn't have to try and put it somewhere and find it.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think back in my day, I had to, if I didn't have my notebook with me, I didn't have my notes. It was really that simple. And then, of course, nowadays, if you don't have your laptop with you, you probably don't have your notes. But if you think about it, this actually works like a mini little Dropbox for all of your classroom materials, because if, as a student, if you're putting all your notes and all your study materials in a branch, you can find it and it's with you anywhere, because you can access it on your tablet, or even your smartphone. So let's say you're stuck somewhere, you can actually do some studying. Yeah. How cool is that? You know, I think about the fact that, again, Becky and I are the co-founders of MrOwl, and we're married. And we are married, and we do have an 11-year-old. And what's interesting is I'm just blown away by the fact that out of his entire class, there's only 2 children in there that don't have a smartphone. And I mean like an iPhone or a Galaxy. They've got the latest smartphones. And the interesting thing is, every day we talk to our son, and he's like, oh yeah, so-and-so forgot their homework today. And the teacher's like, well, did you do it? And they're like, well, yeah, I did it, but I just forgot. And I find it very interesting. The teacher can turn to them and say, but did you forget your phone? And they're like, no, I got my phone right here. Well, if they had a branch on all the materials that they've got for their class, and if they had done their homework. They could even take a little picture, turn it into a PDF, and store it in their branch. They never forget their homework. And no excuses on, oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Jones, I didn't remember what the assignment was. I left that page at school. Well, if the assignment was put in a branch by the teacher, they can always have it. They don't have to worry about it. They can look at their branch. They don't have to email the teacher, and the teacher doesn't have to feel guilty about not checking their email throughout the evening to see whether, little Johnny forgot the homework assignment, and she's got to check her email to remind him of the homework assignment. She can trust that, hey, he's got access to that branch anywhere, anytime, and it's got all the homework assignments in it. And if he's really smart and he does his homework, he can take a picture of it, turn it into a PDF, and it's with him tomorrow. No excuses on forgetting your homework either.
And when we were in college, we have boxes of papers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We have boxes of papers that we wrote because that's what you had. That's how you had to keep them. But this young lady named Allison has put all the papers she's written in this class online, so she can get to them anytime she wants for the rest of her life.
Pretty darn cool, actually.
Yeah. She has the required book. She has the syllabus from the teacher. She has all of the stuff in here that that she needs for this class, and it's at her fingertips. It's on her laptop or her smartphone or her iPad at any moment.
Absolutely. I think what's more interesting is the useful websites, because there she's actually amassed some decent resources outside of the classroom materials that she was given, and that's really cool. I love how she's also put in images, as it pertains to Greek mythology as well. So I think that's kind of cool. So there's just a few ways that people are utilizing MrOwl in the education space and collecting information that's useful. A little example of how some older students are utilizing the technology as well. But again, I'm being very, very candid with you. Our 11-year-old uses this site all the time, puts his own resources in there, and it's kind of handy. It's not hard to do. In fact, let's show you how easy it is to add things into a branch. Why don't you give a quick little example of how that works, Beck? Why don't you jump into one of your branches, doesn't matter which one, and give a little tutorial on it.
I love my recipes branch because in the past when I was trying to keep track of recipes I found a great recipe. I'd email it to myself, I'd print it out. I never could keep track of it.
She really is a good cook too.
And now I put it in the list of recipes I want to try. So if I find a recipe and I'm like, hey, I want to try that, I can put it in there, and then when I'm in my kitchen, I can have it at my fingertips. And let's say I want to try this chicken biryani recipe, I can move it to the top and then go right there and do it.
Absolutely.
And I can also edit this so that whenever I see a link, I add it, which I'm going to show you in just a second. But I can also edit it so that I put in there when maybe after I made it, it needed more salt. I can say, okay, add more salt. And I can always have my notes for each recipe in here.
That's really cool. Let me put that in an education context. Let's say you put in a list of resources for the parents. I mean, let's face it, sometimes I have to admit I'm great at the math. No issues helping our son with math right now. My wife also, Becky, we have the math down. But I will have to admit, I couldn't for the life of me remember how to diagram a sentence. And when he brought that home, I was like, oh my God, do I have to remember this? Fortunately, he's a pretty bright kid. He actually knew how, and he didn't need the help. But had he, we were both kind of freaking out because she couldn't remember either. So Becky and I are going, how do we do that? And I know the teachers all the time get asked, hey, my kid might be in an area where, you don't remember it as an adult. It's too long ago, 20 years ago. I don't remember what I was studying and how to convey that to my son. But teachers are always giving resources to parents. Well, let's say you put together a list of helpful links for the parents on how to help their student with a subject that they're struggling in. The interesting part is, because you can change the description, you can tell the parents why you gave them this link. So maybe it just says math, core math for algebra, and you go, I love this section because X, Y, and Z. This is why it's important.
Because it shows you the fundamentals of why we do equations in that way or something.
Anything that you wanted to put in there, and that would be valuable. So now the parent feels a little more comfortable. Oh yeah, I'm reading the textbook. I still don't quite remember. I know there was more information, and it would really help me if I read a few more things to teach this to my son or daughter. And that's a really valuable thing. You can actually tell people why the link is important. And that's a beautiful thing.
Let me show you how to add a link. There's two really easy ways to add a link. One of them is that you can just put a link right here and it'll add. But the other one is that we have a Chrome extension. I just want to, I'm circling it in the upper right of the screen. There's a little owl there. And that little owl is something that you add very easily through our settings, which is with a couple of click under the settings. I'll go there and show you it. You can add the MrOwl Chrome extension. And what the MrOwl Chrome extension allows you to do is when you're browsing the web, you can just add any link right there. So let me show you. So let's say I find a great recipe.
Hopefully they can see the Chrome extension. I'm not sure you all can, but Becky did show you on screen where you can add it, and it will appear up right by your search bar.
I think they can see it. I think they can.
Okay. So maybe you can circle it again, Beck. It's our little logo there. So perfect.
So let's say I find a great chicken recipe that I want to add, and I say, hey, you know, I really want to try this someday. I can go to my handy dandy Chrome extension here.
Yep. And
I can add it. It pulls in the title and description from the website.
Absolutely.
But you can change it right there. If you love this recipe because you thought it was really crispy looking or anything you want to put there, you can put notes.
Fantastic.
And then it'll add just by hitting the add button. And then
so
when
it's
I go back
really easy to populate.
Kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
Absolutely. That is, truly it is. A lot of people are having a great time adding and building information. And right there you can see on the screen, that's where the link will reside. And as Becky said, she can move that up or down depending on its relevance and importance. So it's kind of cool.
And then, so we showed you, we just briefly showed you Laura Candler's branch, but other people have put together some great, some really fun information. If I search for games on here, I see that some people have put in math games.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is a 3rd grade math games. And these are just resources that they put together that they're able to share with their 3rd grade class on fun math games to do. And this is evergreen information. It lasts forever.
Absolutely.
From year to year, you can find other great sites, or maybe if sites get phased out, you can take them away. But you can do work once and share it year after year.
See, that's a really important point. It's something that's been pointed out to us by a number of educators and teachers at all different grade levels have pointed out the fact that it's really cool because it makes their lives better and makes it more efficient for them. Because year to year, there are materials that, you know, particularly with regard to math, they just don't go bad. You know, they are still very valuable resources. You still use them year in, year out. And by placing them in a branch, you can just keep them there. They stay there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. New class comes in. You just make small adjustments. But the core of your material is all set up for you and set out in a nice, organized manner. And you've got it there. So you're just adding the newest stuff. And you're taking out the stuff that maybe is a little outdated now. But the heart of it, it remains there, and it's there for you, and you don't have to recreate it each year. So that's kind of beautiful. So you can have
classroom resources. If you're an elementary school teacher, you can have, for example, 3rd grade classroom resources, and that would be, you know, good year after year. You can also, let's give them an example of a field trip. We actually talked to a teacher recently who goes on a lot of field trips, and what she was going to do is make a branch for every field trip, or at least a topic for every field trip under the branch.
And then provide the resources for the different ones. So, you know, for the zoo, different things. You need sunscreen. You don't really need that if you're going to the art museum.
Right.
You
so
know?
What to bring, what to wear, and then resources on that. So if you're going to the zoo, you can put a link to the zoo right there. You can have the permission slip.
Yep.
You can have
which you can get back because the parent can download it, sign it, and re-upload it for you. Then you've got it digitally right there for you. You know who you have permission for, etc. You're out on the field trip and you want to take a picture with the class. You can upload that picture to the branch and the parents can see it instantaneously. So it's like they're there. A lot of times, you know, we as parents, we can't get off and attend everything that our children are participating in. And, you know, it's the realities of life nowadays where you got working parents and oftentimes 2 working parents. But they can still feel like they're participating because their child's out on a field trip. They see all the resources that you've put together. They see all the fun activities that they're going to do. And if they were to receive some pictures from the teacher real time, just by checking the branch, it's really cool.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
so
go
the
ahead.
teacher can upload pictures real time. She can take pictures of the class on the field trip and upload them into the branch so that the parents during their day can look and see these pictures of their kids having fun.
Yeah.
And so it's really a great resource for sharing all kinds of information.
I don't think you really showed how easy it is to share it either. You should probably point that out.
Okay. In order to share a branch, you just share, you hit the share topic, you can share it right to Pinterest. If you're logged into Pinterest, it goes right there.
I think
Twitter,
mostly for
Facebook.
educators, you're going to be wanting to share it via email.
Share it via
Yeah, and you just share it out to the parents, and that's probably where it's primarily going. But I think that's going to be the primary way. But if you were putting together something that was more resource-based for other educators, then you probably do want to share it out to Facebook or Pinterest or things like that, much like Laura Candler, where she's really putting together tools for the whole education community.
I forgot to show one really important thing.
Please.
I'm going to show it on this travel branch. It's like a little vacation. I love this travel branch. So there's this travel branch I grabbed, bucket list travel. Each branch is searchable. So you can search all the stuff within the branch. You can search the documents and the links so that you can find anything on the branch.
I think that's so important, especially as an educator, and you're putting in lots of resources for the teacher, as a teacher, for the students and for the parents. And if you put it in a branch, you have basically created, taken to its fullest, a mini little search engine for the class. So if a parent goes, gosh, I wonder whether, Mrs. Johnson put together something on teaching fractions. I don't even know where to begin here. It's probably in this math section. But you know what? I can search this and go, hey, did she put together any resources on how to teach fractions?
And it'll bring up the links for fractions as well as the subtopics having to do with fractions. Isn't this
is beautiful,
travel one
actually.
is just so beautiful.
Spend a few minutes in travel. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So, we also know.
You should show that search, though. You were
I
going.
did. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't say it out loud. I searched for beaches.
Oh, I didn't see it.
This is the search result for beaches in this travel branch.
Okay, and I see what you did, Beck. What she actually did is search just the branch. You can search all of.
So you can search all of the branches for beaches, or you can search within this branch.
Right.
And so each branch is searchable unto itself.
That's why I said it's almost like a little mini search engine unto itself. Mrs. Johnson's 4th grade class can have a mini search engine of all the content that she's put together just for that class. How cool is that? And what's really special about it is it doesn't just have to be links, as I said. It can be PDF documents, Word documents, it can be photos and videos, all of that. And you can make the whole thing searchable. So it's really, really cool. It truly can be. Think about this. How many times, and I've seen it, with my own son, clearly sometimes he gets great handout that the teacher's prepared, but he's got a teacher that's been teaching for about 30 years, and he's put together some handwritten notes that are actually resources, and he's just Xeroxed it and handed it out to the kids. But the truth of it is he could take that same handwritten resource and take a photo of it.
With his phone, he can turn it right into a PDF.
Turns it into a PDF, and there it is in the branch, and then it becomes searchable. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
people can always find it. So I hope that we've been able to share with you guys some great ways that you can use MrOwl. MrOwl is an amazing way to put information together and to share it to others.
And remember, it's free.
And it's also a great way just to put together your own information that you want to keep private, because branches can be public or private.
That's correct.
And so you can have private things about resources that you use for your life or for teaching, and then you can have the public branches that you have for your classes and your teachers.
Yep. And you can create groups as well. One more important point, right, Beck? Do you want to speak about the fact that you're able to create a group?
Well, that is coming. That's coming in the next month. That you're able to add as many people to your branch as you like. And so it can stay private, but only these people can see it.
Correct.
And so the great thing about that is that if you wanted to share it just to your class, you could do that, or just to your parents and not your kids, you could do that as well.
Yeah, kind of important, I
Yeah.
think, at times. Listen, it's been a pleasure to give you an overview of MrOwl today, and we hope you enjoyed it. There's plenty more to learn. I think the best thing, again, this is an educator crowd, right? Is to go on, play with it, explore it. We welcome any feedback. We really do care about the educators and this community in particular, because you are one of the best resources for sharing knowledge out there, and we really want to make sure that your needs are being addressed. So if you have any feedback for us, please don't hesitate to send us any questions, thoughts, or requests. And if we can make some adjustments to the technology to better serve you, we're very happy to do so. So thanks again for taking the time to be with us today, and we look forward to having you on MrOwl. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.